This is a recording of a talk given by Her Holiness Mataji on the 22nd of the 7th, 1979 at Leeds. Introduction first of all by Gavin.
Not only as spiritual teacher, but even, I should say that she doesn't usually exclusively introduce as Mrs. Srivastava, because after all, we come to her for spiritual reasons and not because of who she is in everyday life. But perhaps I should say that Mataji is the wife of an important United Nations official in London, who was elected by representatives of other nations as the Secretary General of one of the agencies of the United Nations. So, even at the most basic level, we should realise that we're very fortunate that she can spare time to come and be with us. But another perhaps more significant reason for mentioning that her name is Srivastava is a subtler one. The unconscious mind teaches a great deal about the meaning of things. So perhaps there's an unconscious reason why her name is Mrs. Srivastava. Because in the Sanskrit language, Shri means the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. And Vastava means in reality. Now you might not understand that at first, but there is a very deep meaning connected with that. The why that should be seen. We mentioned that when you put your hands towards Mataji and towards your picture of Mataji, the picture gives out vibrations. I'd say vibrations is only the best word we can find to describe the feelings that you experience in Mataji's presence and from It's a complete transformation of your awareness. You feel very much calm inside. And the thoughts just stop buzzing. And whatever's going on around, you just see that it's happened, but you're not bothered by it. And you can participate in it or not. It's just kind of a choice. But basically your attention is very much focused and very much pleasing, very much inside yourself. And accompanying this calm, peaceful state, you do actually feel a kind of coolness in your hands. And maybe even in your whole body, you may feel quite cooled down and refreshed. And maybe you feel your head sort of light and almost putting feelers out, as though you're like a flower opening. Quite noticeable sensations. And found that there are ways to strengthen this experience. As Jim says, because of our past history, because of our mistakes perhaps, because of our ignorance of what we're doing in our seeking, and searching for the answers to the world, sometimes we've gone beyond the boundaries of what's really appropriate, really in grace, in relationships, in our humility about who we are in the creation. And these mistakes damage our inner being, our subtle being, our spiritual being, although we don't know it consciously. So maybe at first you have quite a strong experience in that experience. And then you go away, and the old associations return, and your mind starts thinking about what's happened and questioning whether it really happened or whether it really was what it was. You get back into your old habits of behavior, and then the sensations disappear. So it's important. It won't work out unless one strengthens the experience itself. It's not a thing that you can do by techniques and such. Really. It's something that happens, that comes to you from being in a certain state of being. Which you can't think about and which occurs because you're not thinking. Like if you want to smell a flower, either it's got fragrance or it hasn't. And the only way you can find out is to smell it. In the same way, only by putting your attention inside can you find out what state you are in. But something wonderful about that is that when you put your attention inside, after meeting her, something has been triggered in us. Some seed has been sown or sprouted. And gradually, it manifests as the feeling of vibrations, as we call it, or cool breeze. And gradually, this becomes stronger. It's absolutely happening of itself. And one of the ways that we found that strengthens this experience is to ask questions like a prayer. Actually to ask God questions about who is it. Even to ask that question, you find you go silent. the self-realization is like a blank check. You definitely receive something, but you don't know what currency your check to be in. You don't know what the value of this gift is. The only way you can find out is through spending your check, is through cashing your bank balance, which maybe you've achieved in previous lives. Maybe this gift of self-realization is something you've been looking for longer than you can remember. And maybe it's something more valuable than all the lives you've had so far. But you can only find out by using the vibrations themselves to answer questions, to solve problems. Actually, the thing that you realize most with vibrations, once you begin to find that they are a real awareness, is that most of the problems we think we have are just in here, and they're not really problems. But mostly, what we think is wrong with life is something wrong in our own attitudes. And by taking the trouble to change our attitudes, we can get immense joy and immense fulfillment out of life. Works on all kinds of levels. And it works through levels and channels that our normal thinking won't accept. Like we know that technology is going out for a program anywhere in the country. Don't forget about the weather forecast. Because it's bound to be something different. We know that if somebody's got an incurable disease, it's better not say that it's incurable until you've tried vibrations though. Because so many very strange and wonderful results have happened simply through bringing these things to macular attention. And even scientifically, we can understand something Masterji says, which is that cancer can only be cured through SahajaYoga. It's because of a balancing which brings the cancerous cells into their proper place in the organized system. It rebalances the whole system. And the proliferation which is going on comes under control. And things go back to normal. Some of us went to India with Mataji, and we've seen very remarkable changes in people who are very simple about their attitude. They're not argumentative. They know that the divine can manifest through an incarnation as a human being. They don't have a difficulty to accept that somebody can come on this earth who is a divine person. Most of us have got to a point where we want to deny Christ. We would like to say that even he was a myth. Because for ego it's quite difficult to accept. That we're not the caste system. But if one accepts them, we're not here just to make everybody else jealous. If we can just get that into our heads, then the vibrations do their job so much quicker. We get rid of all the rubbish very fast. And you see things clearly. So gradually what happens with SahajaYoga is after realization you become a functioning part of the system. With the extraordinary advantage that you have consciousness and a choice of how the system's going to develop. For instance, we've read that man was made in the image of God. But nobody really knew what this meant or what's its significance. It means that the divine being is like the ideal human. And that every human being is like a cell within that great one. And if we think that we are the only one who's important, then it's just as though we have a cancer in the body. But if we're conscious that the system functions through our functioning properly and in accordance with the whole, and if we have a technique by which we're instrumental in the whole achieving something good, achieving some new dimension. See, this might be going over your heads, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that through a transformation in each of us, we get to a stage where we can enjoy all the gifts God has prepared for us. He wants us to enjoy it. That is why He's put us here on this earth. He wants to have the Father's enjoyment of seeing the children play and watching them grow up. And what Mataji gives us is simply a little push. So maybe I've given you a little more idea of why we're so happy to be here, and why we're so fortunate.
Is it there? They have to come back again to himself. And to work. What he has told me in a very meditative way about Sahaja. And he can speak better than me, because he understands you better than me. I understand you through my love, but he understands you with all your weaknesses, with all your flaws. And Mother cannot see me because you require somebody really knowledgeable person to point it out. You can say that in the West, the problem of search, of quest, is rather different than perhaps you might have been great since living in our country, in India, searching for God. You might have moved from places to places. And maybe today you are born in the West because here most of your problems are solved. Basic problems are solved. Nobody is starving here. And hence, your attention is moving towards settler side of life. You want to find out what is the source of joy. But there is a very big problem which hangs over the Western world, and the problem of stress, problem of pressure, of feeling like being suffocated within yourself. Why one feels the pressure? If the door is locked, I don't feel the pressure. I'm sitting there. But if I go towards the door and try to open it, then I feel the pressure. In the same way in the West, you feel the pressure because you are trying to open yourself to something which you do not know what you want to do. But you know that you are not satisfied with what you do. And there is a big pressure on the mind that you have to seek something, you have to find out something. It's not money by any chance. It should not be any one of the things that you are already doing. For example, you have got cars or whatever things. You got all kinds of things that are materially possible. So one has to realize that there is a pressure in you to seek something which we cannot achieve ourselves. If you could have achieved yourself, then there could have been no pressure. That's a simple thing. For example, you are driving nowadays and using petrol. And people say that the petrol may not be available at the next station. You get into pressures. Because you cannot do it. Because you cannot get it yourself. Because you cannot manage it. That's why there is a pressure. And this pressure is not for worldly or material things, which we must clearly understand. We must understand ourselves first. We can move this way. Will I be happy if I have another big house? Will I ask for nothing else after that? No. Will I be happy if I have lots of money? No. Because, as you know in economics, that no wants are sexual in general. You cannot say that all your wants are satisfied. Maybe one you have got, you fulfill that, then you go to another, then you go to the third one. But you cannot say that all your wants have been satisfied. But behind all these wants, behind all these seeking, there is the essence of seeking. And what are you seeking? Which satisfies all other wants. For example, you want, say, Coca-Cola, you want Pepsi-Cola, you want water, you want another kind of drink. For what? For quenching your thirst. That's the principle. In the same way, you are wanting something for satisfying that principle of seeking. So, one thing should be clear to us, that we cannot do it. That's why there is a pressure. That's why we are in tension, as we call it. And moreover, whatever we are seeking doesn't give us satisfaction of the principle of satisfaction. So from one to another we are shifting. So you come to spirituality. You come to the satisfaction of your spirit. There also you find people are doing guru shopping, I call it. They go from one to another, to third and fourth. Because in that also they are not seeking the satisfaction of seeking. If they could value their seeking on this point, are we going towards the seeking which will give us the complete satisfaction? Then maybe they will come to Sahaja. Because you must know that God has created you from unbalanced. Without you doing anything about it. The whole being that you have is created without you doing anything about it. You have got a beautiful nose and eyes, everything taken for granted that all God has created. Imagine from a unicellular animal like a man. So you have done nothing about it and you got it. And now that you are feeling the pressure, you have to get something more, which you also must understand that you cannot get it. So it is God has to do it. If we understand that God has to do it, then we call it a spontaneous thing that has to happen within us. A living happening has to take place within us, by which it will be furnished. And when will this seeking be completely satisfied? It will be satisfied when you will have fulfillment of your being. That you will understand why you were made, what is the purpose of your life, and that you will be doing that yourself. Before that, you will think that these all desires and greeds are driving you mad. They are sitting on your head. The horse is sitting on your head and making you run here and run there and making you mad. You are not driving the horse. So then you ask yourself, Mr. XYZ, what about driving this horse of yours? Sometimes for the change. But how to get on top of the back of the horse? That's the technique of Sahaja. But as we can say, there is no technique for sprouting the seed, which is a living process. How do you sprout a seed? Can you say that? In the same way, we can also say that for us there is no technique. I would say here is an instrument. It has to be connected to the mains if you have to start or walk it. In the same way, you have to be connected to the mains if we have to make you work or to give you your fulfillment of your creation. But now what are we to do about it? Again the question comes is, what can we do about it? How are we to make it? So then, I would say, don't. God who has created this nose and these eyes and the lungs and the whole being within you has also created within you the instrument, the sprouting energies which are required to do this. The undercurrents of these energies we can see because we have got so many systems within us, like nervous systems, which work out everything automatically. We call them autonomous nervous systems. In the same way, there is a complete programming which is arranged within us during our evolution to give us this chance of our sprouting, our rebirth, as described in all the scriptures. It is now, if I say all the scriptures are correct, you are not going to believe it. You will not. You should not. Because you have not read those scriptures in the light of your spirit. Now there is a spirit within us in our heart. If I say so, you should say that, Mother, how are you today? Because just keep yourself open, as I would say that there is in sulfur dioxide, there is sulfur and oxygen. You keep your mind open, and in the laboratory you can do and see for yourself that there is a sulfur atom and an oxygen atom. In the same way, you first of all just open your mind. Just keep yourself open. And then you can see for yourself whatever I am saying is correct. It's a hypothesis. But when we read the hypothesis, if you deny it from the very beginning, then it is very difficult even to make you hear what I am saying. So keep it to yourself. There is a residual force within us in the triangular world, which so many of these people have seen pulsate. This you cannot do. You cannot make something pulsate in the triangular bone here at the base of the spinal cord, can you? You can jump, alright. You can shout, you can scream, you can do all these things. But can you make something pulsate at the base of the triangular bone? But these people have seen, and you will also see, pulsation will start. And then you will find the pulsation rising higher and higher. And if you have a stethoscope, you can even feel the beat, just like you feel the heart. Imagine in the triangular bow, and it rises up and pierces here, and you can find that this portion of your head becomes soft, just like a child's. This is the baptism with John the Baptist. This is the rebirth which Shankaracharya has taught. He has said that not by any so-called yogas like jumping on your head or doing all these things. The yoga is the Sankhya. Sankhya is the philosophy behind. By reading the philosophical book, it is not going to. But it's only through the grace of the Mother, the grace of the Divine. He has clearly said it in all his books. Whatever he has described, he has talked about the Shakti within us, which is the residual force in the triangular bone, kept reserved for this happening like a little prelude or the germinating end of a seed. Even in the Bible or in the Quran, any of these scriptures, it is written that you are to be born again. Even in the Zen system of religion, it is written, you are to be born again. Now what is this rebirth? What is this rebirth within us? What is this happening of rebirth within us? We must understand what should happen within us. Luckily, we are born in the modern times, and there are so many books which are called as scriptures have described about this. Now, these scriptures are absolutely true. They have promised that this is going to happen, and they are going to keep up their promises, and it is going to happen. But in this seeking thing, in the West, what has happened? That when there was a demand for seeking, a genuine demand, if there is a demand, say woolen blankets, so people will come out with a supply. But they don't have sufficient wool with them, or they don't have wool at all, so they make artificial blankets and say, feels like wool. This is very common in modern times. Feels like wool, feels like wool, and feels like peaceful. And that's how we are enamored by it. It's a sad thing that these are also human beings. They are deceiving themselves and deceiving others. As we have said, we cannot do it ourselves. The supply has come from the Divine. Somebody who is authorized to do it has to do it. So when such a statement is made, immediately the human mind is so clever. They create people saying that he is the one who did it. He is the one who did it. The third person is the one who did it. And a normal seeker gets flabbergasted. He doesn't know which shop to go. But if you could realize it, that there is no shop about you. You cannot purchase him in a shop. You cannot pay for him in a shop. If one could understand this small principle, we can work it out sprouting. How much money do we pay for sprouting a seed? How many times do we stand on our heads or jump or hop to get a plant sprout? Now there are thousands and thousands in this area only you might be finding here. On one tree there are flowers which are getting transformed into fruits. Now, how many fasting have you done for that? Or shaven your heads to get those things done? I mean, it's a simple thing. People shave their heads. I said, why? They said, we have become spiritually awakened. I said, what? Why should you shave your hair for that? Kabira has said that by shaving your hair, if you are going to become spiritual and going to be reborn, then what about the sheep which is shaved every year at least twice? She should be the most spiritual thing. In the same way, we think we'll wear some kind of a dress, you see, which looks odd in the whole society, and say that we are ascetics and we proclaim it, and by that we'll become spiritually awakened. I mean, by changing dresses or by coloring dresses into, by being 1 pound, you can change the color of a dress. If you can get even one seed sprouted, I would go in for it. But when it comes to sprouting the seed, we don't do all these things. But when it comes to our own sprouting, we have to leave it to God. Now the question comes, how to leave it to God? Is that we should be leading a life of temperance. We should not get to extreme behavior in life, to temperate life. And the time comes when a person is authorized to do this, to give this life, comes in this world, and it can be done. In SahajaYoga, people think that it's something new, trend, you see, one of the trendies that have started. Even the seed has got renewed. So it is also working towards Sahaja. When the seed becomes, gradually evolves, say into an animal, then becomes a human being, then the same preview acts for its last evolutionary jump. So SahajaYoga for human beings is very simple, where you have got the residual force placed in your triangle bone, and there are 7 centers within you, already prepared, well placed, just for this happening. And this happening takes place in such a simple manner, like if you have a candle here, this is one candle which is completely prepared, and you have got already a wick standing out. It's all ready. It's all connected from here to here. Alright. At this time, this candle is enlightened. What you have to do is to just bring this candle near it like this. And it goes. See? Now, what is the technique? The technique is already, this has been done, this has been placed there. the candle is just ready, and as soon as it comes near, that candle is enlightened. Now, what has that candle lost by this? Or what is the obligation of that candle on this? Or how much this candle has to pay to get enlightened? Or to shave the head and all that nonsense? It just works automatically, you have seen just now. But supposing this thread that is inside it is halfway through, is not properly there. Some naughty boy has pulled it out. Or you have done some mischief with it. Then it stops it. So then again it has to be repaired. And it is to be balanced and put right. So when they said the Kundalini falls out, I felt that you all were a little worried about it. Oh, whatever may happen. I am quite an expert in eating the candle. So, do not worry about candle being spoiled, and there is no worry. But here again one must understand that there is no attitude of obliging you. At all, no obligation. There is no repayment of any obligation because there is no obligation at all. This has to enlighten another light, otherwise it has no meaning. God has to look after His creation because He will have no meaning if His creation is new. He jolly well have to look after you and give you realization. Because He is going to lose His own significance. You are a part and parcel of that plate, and what you are finding is nothing but your wholesomeness. It's only a finger which is numbed now, you can say, but by rubbing a little bit, it again starts flowing and becoming one with the circulation and is absolutely connected and feeding all the pains and everything. In the same way, you are a little bit numbed because you have been separated. For example, if I cut this finger away, it will have no connection with this. But when I again join it back, it will start. In the same way, you are given freedom to a special working or a technique, you can say, of God Almighty, by which you raised your heads. By raising this head, you have put the energy flowing on the Mother Earth in such a way that it creates two forces within you, which we call as ego and super ego. And when they cover each other, overlap each other, you become a separate entity. That you become Mr. X, Mr. Y, Miss Z. This is done just to make you absolutely free and well developed, mature. For this last happening, when this happens, you will know that you are evolved more. That you have evolved in a higher state. So far you never knew how you became from monkeys to this stage. Do you know that? You never knew, you never recorded. Monkeys do not know also that they have to become human beings. But that's why God has given us a special freedom to decide what is right, what is wrong. Is to mature us as mature children, mature people who will inherit His powers. And then He exposes us to His power, and that starts flowing. For that, there is a century within you, in your heart, which you call as faith. In Sanskrit is called as Atma. And this spirit watches you out in whatever you are doing. And whatever you are doing, whatever you have done before, in your seeking also is recorded in this residual force in the back of your triangle. It's all recorded, typically. It's all there. So when the Kundalini awakening starts, this tape recording starts showing. Like if this light has got in between somewhere, say water, you can see the difference in the bowl. In the same way, it starts showing of the feelings of other people who are realized that see his Kundalini has stopped at this point, you get a burning at this point. And this is the point here that you can see clearly. If you can clear out this point somehow, if there is a technique like that, then you can raise the Kundalini higher and higher and higher. And that can be. So, we can say that SahajaYoga, while the happening takes place, you cannot explain it. Like that you cannot explain the technique, how a seed sprouts. But you know how to maneuver it, how to put the tree in proper line, how to trim it, how to bring it to a certain height, whether to cut it at this point or not, that all technique is there. And that is the technique of Sahaja. So here we are combined with God. We become one with His all-pervading power. His power starts flowing through you, emitting through our strength. And you can see that it moves like a pulsation. And when then this dynamic force starts flowing through you, we become one with the whole. The circulation of the whole starts flowing in. It articulates. And you can feel other people also on your fingers. Not like this, that I don't like her because she wears a particular type of a dress. It's not that way. It's actually feeling it on your hand, the personality of another person. This is what has to happen to the whole world, to the whole humanity. And this is what we are. This is what we call is the culmination of our creation. Jung has done a lot of work on collective consciousness. On the collective unconscious he has done it. That there is a collective unconscious which guides us in our dreams through giving us universal symbols. This collective unconscious is unconscious because our attention has not entered into it. But after realization, the same unconscious becomes consciousness. Because it has started flowing through you and you start feeling it through your central nervous system. You can actually feel it is the actualization of the experience which is important. Then make it absolutely stable, to make it your own, you have to correct your being, your body, mind, and your emotions, which is created by 5 elements. You have to properly adjust yourself. If you have too much of one element in you, you have to reduce it by allowing it. For example, if you have too much of light in your head, means you are egoistic. Then you have to use this light to burn away that. If there is too much of air in your body, then you have to use this air that is outside to take away the surplus. All the 5 elements that have created these centers can be corrected, maneuvered, adjusted, balanced, put into complete coordination and integration by the technique of Sahaja. You can do for that. The maneuvering of it, you can learn. But first and foremost thing is that you have to become that. If there is no light in it, in darkness, what work am I going to do? So first of all, the light has to come within you, and then you start correcting yourself and correcting others, and becoming complete and complete. This is a blessing to us and a gift to us. And the attitude towards a gift is very different than the attitude towards the thing that you want to purchase. In the shop, if you go, if a person doesn't give you what you want, you can argue with the person. That's alright. I have paid for this and it is written like this, you have advertised like this, and I'm not doing it, so you better do it. Right? But if I want to give you a gift, or if you want to give me a gift, for example, just now she brought me a flower. This flower to me. If I say now from where did you get it, did you steal it, or what did you do it and bring it here? The whole grace of the flowers. Or if she brings it to me, I will ask her, did you go in the market to buy it? From where did you get it? Or did you get it from the corner? Yeah. Alright, accordingly I'll pay you. Whole grace is yours. When you say that you are going to pay for it, just think of it. I mean, it's a very common experience of mine. There is that when I went to America first, see, everybody said, you must charge people. Why? So they have no interest. I said, I don't want such people. Such foolish people who want to pay for their gift. If I am giving them something invaluable, how can they pay for it? They said, unless and until you pay for it, they will have no interest. I said, I don't know. I can't do anything about such people. I said, it is insulting to me. What can you pay for my love? I am doing it because of my will of my love. What can you pay for my love? What have you got? You can just love me, and I can. And let us keep it like that. It's very difficult for people to understand this kind of thing. They just can't understand. We cannot understand love, which is pure love. And that is true. Once the Kundalini rises from love and pierces the self-down, you enter into collective consciousness. Means you get the power to know others and know yourself. Know thyself. That is self-knowledge. Actually, you know it in the sense that it becomes your own knowledge. Even a child can say that, mother, see, I'm catching here, that's heart. My left heart is catching. Even a little child, say after 2 years, can see that. Born realized children do that. At a very young age, they can tell you where is the problem. You do not know who are born realized or not. You do not know who is a thug or who is a right person or a wrong person. How can you make up? Because you haven't got the light with you. Without the light, how will you have self-knowledge? So you have to have the light to see yourself. When you have the self-knowledge, you have the knowledge of others. This is the first thing that happens. But then when you become the spirit is the thing that gives you the joy, which finishes your seeking. When the spirit starts emitting joy, its nature is joy. Its nature is love. Its own nature is joy. When it spreads through, see the fragrance, see this love. How much joy it is anxious to give us. We can't imagine a human being who wants to give joy. When a flower which is not that aware as a human being is anxious to give you the joy, its color, with its fragrance. That's the nature of the spirit which gives joy, wants to give joy, wants to make everyone joyous. By awakening their spirits, the source of their joy. And then, when the ego and the superego are being sucked in, then the peace of a witness decides. And you start seeing things as a witness. Like a drama, the whole thing is so beautiful. The joy of the creation just becomes one with you because there is no thought about it. You just watch it without any thought about it. When there is a thought, you always think how much it will cost. How do I preserve it? It's a headache all the time. But there is no thought and a complete vision with yourself. This is you seek. This is you ask. If you are asking for that, I am here to. Whatever is possible, I will decide. Make your spirit manifest. But if you are asking for something else, I'm sorry, I cannot. Like in India, there's one guru who gives you diamonds. Rich people in India, not rich. Otherwise, he would have solved our problem. Right? They say that he gives one diamond and takes 10. Something like that. Somebody came to me, I said, I have no diamond. But there is a diamond within you. Only the light has to fall on it. And then you will get the light of that diamond sparkling. And you see. And that diamond is such that nobody can steal. Nobody can take away. And when that diamond touches any other being, the diamond in that personality also shines. So it depends on the quality of people. In the West, I must say, we have very high quality of seekers, no doubt. Very high quality of seekers. But they are lost because of their social problems, family problems, and other problems like overeating, going to wrong type of people. While in India, they do not have that seeking. But they are born in a country which is full of divine vibrations, but they cannot feel. So it is like somebody has the teeth but no food to eat, and somebody who has food has no teeth. The condition is that. And in this mess, SahajaYoga is for. It is your own weakness as much as you can. And be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You have already tortured yourself too much. Too much you have tortured yourself. Now please stop it and be kind to yourself. Love yourself. God has created your life with very great. Understand this well and don't waste it. This is my message. This is my request of it. And I'll do my level best. Whatever is possible. So may God bless you. Now the thing is, this is also a myth. Because when we do something, we, through our ego, think that we are doing it. For example, as I always tell them in analogy, that some people going on a plane did not know how to travel by a plane and they brought a lot of luggage. So people said we should not have brought so much luggage, it is too much for the plane to carry. So when they sat in the plane, they put all the luggage on their heads, saying that we are carrying the luggage now, you can't say anything. In the same way, we are carrying the luggage on us. The one who has created, the one who has made you a human being, the one who has placed all things within you, is carrying everything. Is a myth. And the more you are identified with the myth, the more miserable you are. These days it's a fashion to be guilty. What are you guilty about? I don't understand. What sin can you commit that God's love cannot do? He is an ocean of love. But why dwell upon all these nonsensical ideas? Give him a chance. This is all a myth. I tell you, it's a myth. It's the ego that says that I do this and I do. Animals don't do like that. They don't have an ego. They don't think that I've done bad karmas or good karmas. It comes through our own agencies, like we have a municipality that says you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. When we have all other sorts of people, they say you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. All the time we think, oh, we are doing all the time wrong things. As children, we don't think it is wrong, but as we grow older and older, we start thinking it is all wrong. Alright, you do wrong also, in the way that you hinder the progress of others. You hinder also your own progress by self-destruction. But that can be corrected. You are a solid car, Chrysler. I haven't met anybody so far. That's what I should say. Not one person whom I have not been able to. I mean, the repairing shop is so strong. And also the instrument is very strong, I must say that. It has never. Please. It has never failed so far. So why should you worry? Just come along and let's have it. It's a very, very simple proposition. With this now you ask me questions.
What about after this experience? How you from your system?
Yes, that is very correct. You see, it's very simple. When you have enlightened this light, what do? It gives the light. That's what happens to you. You become silent within yourself. Enjoy that peaceful conditions, and the thing starts flowing through. And the light comes to others through you. You manifest it. By which you cure. You cure even mad people. Very many mad people we have cured. They are really cured, real insane people like that. I mean, you would run away from them if you see them. You see, we had one who was supposed to roll like a tiger and like a dog sometimes, used to wriggle out like a snake. He's perfectly normal now, absolutely normal. But this light not only gives you physical well-being, mental well-being as I do, but a light to see the beauty of this, the beauty of the whole nature. Actually, after this you really enjoy. And the only thing you do, to be very frank, is to enjoy. You just enjoy, that's all.
Yes, I realise that if I was enlightened, I would enjoy something. But I meant, what system do you follow? What you have to say different words for different chapters?
Yes, that is true. That is
what you do.
Yes, you see, we have to understand the complete mechanism within us, all right? And the complete working of it. I agree with you. And the whole thing what it is. But why I didn't tell you? Because, you know, supposing now in this room there is no light, so I asked you that you put on the light. But supposing I start telling you about the whole engineering, you will be bored, straight will go away. You won't listen to me. That's why first let's have the light and the complete thing I'm going to tell you.
Yes, I was just wondering how much time you have to devote every day to even this thing afterwards.
You don't know how much time I'm devoting. By God's grace, my daughters are married and they have grandchildren. Alright? And in between I have to sometimes do lots of other nonsensical things like shaking hands with 500 people at a time. But despite that, I would say, we have now in India thousands of realized souls living in this country. And they have become such active in service. And you can read one book is there, 250 pages of SahajaYoga. But even with little reading that is there, you can understand the chakras. Have you got something?
Yes.
Now where is the...
Mel, do you want me to put up the...
Alright, please put it. Can you see this one? So these are the 7 centers. You can point out. 7th is shown as the lotus. These are within us, the subtle centers within us. And the triangular bone that I have shown there has that residual consciousness in 3.5 points. This is called as the Kundalini. This is the germinating force within us, which does the job, which has to rise through these centers, 6 centers. It passes through 6 centers. Even in Sanskrit it is written Shata Chakra. Shata Chakra means, Shata means 6, not the 7. Only the 6. This is the very important point also for us. That means the lowest center is the center that manifests our pelvic plexus. And the pelvic plexus manifests. There are 4 subplexuses, as you can see there are 4 plexuses to that. it manifests four subplexuses. One of the subplexuses is for sex, one is for reproduction, one for reproduction, and the topmost one is for controlling the Kundalini's movements. Now, this chakra is left below the Kundalini because here resides our innocence. In the last chakra, innocence is there. Our innocence is present. And the embodiment of innocence is Christ. Christ is the embodiment of innocence. And he is there as Sri Ganesh because he is transformed as Christ later. First he is as Sri Ganesh and he is placed there. But why I said it is very important for me that this chakra is not used for Kundalini piercing, nor does it in any way connects with your rising of the Kundalini. In the sense that you cannot pass through this chakra to raise the Kundalini. That means you cannot have anything to do with sex when you are getting Kundalini awake. It means also that at the time of Kundalini awakening, you become innocent to your sex at that time. It also means that those people who say that Kundalini can be awakened through sex are perverted. Because Kundalini is the mother and the embodiment of innocence is her child. So it is such a horrible thing to say that you can put sex on Kundalini. So it is important to understand that through sex you cannot achieve. But sex has a part to play, and a proper chaste life of a good kind of life, temperate life, is required to keep this center intact because this is the base of your being. That's why a good life, married life, has to be led in a temperate way. The second chakra, which is a boundary, is called as Swadhisthana chakra. And above that is the third chakra called as the Nabhi. Now this Swadhisthana chakra is the one which manifests 6 subplexuses outside, which are used for our creativity, and also this chakra helps us to think for the future. When we start thinking, this chakra removes the fat cells from our stomach, converts it into usable fat cells for the brain. So when you think too much, this chakra starts working. And when they start working too much, goes beyond the limit, if you plan too much, if you think for the future too much, then all the other activities of this center are neglected, like kidney, liver, pancreas, spleen, and the uterus, and also the other things. So those people who think too much make all these organs suffer. That's why people who are weight planners and that, have diabetes. Also can have a bad heart because there's too much working on them. See here the right hand side, the yellow line. And this manifests the right sympathetic nervous system. So if you use the right side too much, means thinking about the future, planning too much, all the time running, and also your physical exercise, physical exertion too much, then the left side not being used becomes frozen, and such a person can become emotionally very weak and dry. Like people who run too much. The other day we had one dental surgeon, and he came with a problem. He said, "Mother, I just can't feel anything. I cannot feel love, I cannot feel unhappiness," and as if he has become a big ascetic, he thought. I said, "Really? You cannot feel anything?" He said, "No." I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I'm a dental surgeon." I said, "A dental surgery? Nobody would develop such a bad frozen heart, like a stone. You see, his heart has become like a stone." He said, "I cannot love my children, I cannot love my wife, and my wife is thinking of divorcing me. I don't know what to do with myself." So I asked him, "What else do you do?" He said, I'm a good runner. I'm running all the time. For miles together I run." I said, "That's the reason. Because you are running so much all the time, you are exerting your physical being so much, looking after your physical side so much, that your emotional side is neglected. You should pay attention to your wife, to your children. Spend some time with them. Instead of that, you are all the time running for what? To keep my health alright. I think your health is perfectly alright, but what about your emotions?" And such people can get heart attacks also. So their left side is neglected. The left side is for your emotions, for your existence. And if you neglect the left side, in a sense, if you start not bothering about your emotional life, not expressing your love to others, you can become a horrid person. There is no balance in it. And if you use it too much also, some people, you see, some women have a tendency towards going into tantrums, you see, all the time, getting angry and crying and weeping and all. They can have their right side particular part. They can become mad. They can become lunatic. As more people are having. And if they become that, then SahajaYoga should come that side. Come now. That's a good idea. So you can do. So you can go out, is it? Angela, you are a SahajaYoga.
Over there.
Esther, you are. You are all SahajaYogas. Beyond this line, all the SahajaYogas. You can come this side. All right. This will be better. There is a chair, I think. So in short, I will tell you about all the centers, because you see, as you said, I have to spend too much time telling you, right? But the second center, above that is the center, which is called as Nabhi Chakra, is placed here. And it manifests the solar plexus outside. And it looks after our digestion on physical level. Also looks after the balance of our 10 commandments, which are given to us by the primordial masters who came on this earth. Like Moses was the primordial master. You can see Socrates was another. There were many like that. Nanaka was another, Janaka was another. All these were primordial masters, the real Adi Gurus they are called as. And they came on this earth to tell us what are the balancing factors within us. And this center looks after that side and also towards our evolution. Through this center we evolve. To begin with, it is at the Nabhi chakra, it's at the navel, where we start evolving through our stomach. Amoeba starts first feeding the food. Then the reptiles, they raise their body higher and higher to become quadrupeds because they want to have food. So, throughout the animal kingdom, it's the food, the stomach, that makes us sick, evolves. But when you go higher, onto the right hand side you will find the same center is represented by Sri Ram there. Is the center where we evolve into human beings who believe in proper political and social life. And he is the one who is the ideal for us now. This center is within us. This is the center of the father. If in your fatherhood you have done some mistake, or if you are not a good son to your father, also this center catches. Left hand side center that you see here actually is little bit misplaced, I would say. But still this center comes to you where the spirit is placed. And the centered one is the one where till the age of 12 years we develop our antibodies with us, which later on in life go into the whole body, into circulation and fight our disease. And this is the center of the mother of the universe. And this mother of the universe creates these antibodies within us, and she keeps us prepared to fight the diseases, to fight our emotions, to live in this world, to exist. When this center is spoiled, sense of insecurity is created in us. Those people who suffer from this center get diseases like asthma and diseases of the lungs. This center here is called as Vishuddhi chakra and manifests your cervical plexus, which has also got 16 subplexuses, as this center has got 16 petals, and it controls ear, nose, throat, all these mastoid muscles, and the tongue and the teeth, and also the balls of the eyes. This is a very, very important center for human beings, because at this stage only when human beings reach their head, they started developing this ego and superego as a byproduct of the activity of these two channels, here and here, emotional on the left hand side and physical and mental on the right hand side. They create ego and superego, and they cross each other at optic chiasma. This is the center of optic chiasma, which is in the center where these two chiasmas cross, and at that point is the subtle center which controls our ego and superego, and the deity that resides in it is our Lord Jesus Christ. He is in the center of the field. Outside is represented as Kartikeya, at the back is represented as Sri Ganesha, and he has got 11 destroying powers, which is called as Ekadasha. We have no idea of Christ. See, we think him to be a human being, at the most we think him to be slightly more like that. But we have no idea how powerful he is and what he is capable of. This you can all learn in Sahaja. As I have said it, that in the beginning you just have to open your mind to this, get the enlightenment and see for yourself. When the Kundalini is rising, you have to raise it, and when it stops, you have to take the names of these deities. And you'll be amazed that unless and until you take the name of these deities at a particular center, the Kundalini won't rise. You can see for yourself, it won't. And this is the proof that these deities are. Like if you are going on the road and there are 3 policemen standing. So somebody tells you, first you'll meet Mr. X, then Y, and then Mr. Z. You tell them to Mr. X that somebody has told you that I have to pass through this way. Right. Then you go and tell him you are Mr. X. He is surprised and he knows that you know him. And he says, all right, go ahead. Then he said, you are Mr. Y. So he says, all right, go ahead. Then to the third he says, you are Mr. Z. So he says, all right, go ahead. In the same way the Kundalini moves, because these are the sentinels, these are the suppliers of these particular centers. And the highest most in the center here is of the primordial mother. And she is the one who is the Holy Ghost, and she is the one who opens that center by which you get this realization. So there are all these 7 centers which are full around, and this center is of Sri Krishna. So Christ has said, those who are not against me are with me. And he is somebody who has come on this earth just to give you. If you feel that, you won't feel hurt, your ego won't be hurt, you won't be unhappy. You could have been in my place, would have been better for me. But don't feel hurt, because without you I cannot exist, and you cannot exist without. It is that simple. If I am the heart, you are my being. So Shubhi has experience now with the new people. You got it already. You got it. Have you got the cold breeze in the hand? I think you are. What about you? Got it? Put your hand. Now don't be nervous. Feel alright. Just put like feel good. You got it.
When you was talking earlier, I got a big shock in my fingers.
Now it's cleared up.
Oh, it's coming out.
It's gone. Now you're alright. Just. What about you, sir? Have you got it?
Well, I have some buzzing at the bottom of the spine.
Is it? But not in the hand anything.
Nothing in the hand.
Alright, you put both your hands there. Have you got some problem there at the spine? Huh?
Permanently stiff head.
Ah, that's right. Alright, you put both the feet like this on the hand. Alright, we'll see that. Right? What about you? Did you get it? You sit down on a chair. Well, let him sit down. Yes, I know it's too much. Alright, just put it like this. But you cleared out, you had a problem here, I could see that it's cleared out. That's it. Will you do tear? Or will you want that? Don't you? Now, what about you? Huh? Doesn't matter. You got something in the hand, just let's see. You are getting it. Your eyes are, you see her eyes are so dilated. You are getting it. Just put your hands like this straight, alright? We cover it. What about you? Just put your hands like this. It works in no time. You may not listen to my lecture. It just works. It's so spontaneous. Just don't think about it. It will work out. What about you? Just now you came? Just now? When did you come? Long time back? Alright. Will you put your hands close? That's it. That's the hand. It will work out. Smira, do you know what have you got in your hand? Is it what? Is it a what? You can use it. Okay. And this hand also? Let's look at this. Sometimes, if it is tight in the hand, the nerves are becoming little insensitive. Let's see. Now. Better? You feel like a little breeze. Or maybe sometimes tingling. Are you feeling tingling? That's the key. Also, throw it up. Tingling is there, just throw it up down on that. Just throw it up, throw it up. Look at his eyes, black like mine. Yes, I know. He's so much better. His face is changing his eyes. What about him? Alma? Good. Good. What about you? Huh? Feeling it? See? That's it. Sometimes happens like that. It's something like that. You're alright? Ah, good. Feeling it? Yes, it's all right. It's true. Back is pain. Right? Who else? Look at her eyes. See? Close your eyes would be better. They are so dilated. Let's see them. Let's see their vibrations. Both of them have consciousness. What about you? Hold both the hands. Good. You're great. What about you? Did you put your hands?
Something in my hand.
Good. All right. Close your eyes and enjoy this. Is it? Maybe. You see, maybe sometimes we are surprised. It's all right working out. See? Close your eyes and enjoy. This is the greatest experience which you have been seeking for ages now. It's there. See? Yeah. What about you? All right.
You're right.
She's got it, I think. Hasn't she?
Oh, good.
Huh? आ गया. Right or left? Left आ गया. You went to TM also? That's interesting. So put your hand on the back. On the, just put your hands there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Listen, just see these two people. I can see her. Close your eyes. Because what happens, dilatation of the pupil takes place, you see? Just close your eyes and feel better. Close your eyes.